Hello and welcome to our CAT4 parent webinar. This webinar is specifically aimed at parents of children in years 4, 5 and 6. Later on in this recording, I'm also recording some information about the NGRT assessments, so if you're a parent of years 2 up to 6, you can skip forward to that section as well. My name is Russell Smart, Deputy Head of Primary here at DBSJP, and I want to share with you in this short session all the things you can expect or need to know about the CAT4 assessments, how we use them in school, and more importantly, how you can support your child at home. Thanks for joining me online. So today we're going to explore the key areas of CAT4 and why we use them in school. It's really important assessments that we use to help measure children's potential to achieve. And we can use it in school to support teaching and learning. We're also going to explore some of the practical ways that you can use the results at home with your child too. So CAT4 stands for Cognitive Abilities Test, and it's widely used across British curriculum schools all over the world. The important thing to know is that it doesn't test what your child has been taught in lessons. Instead, it measures reasoning ability, so how your children think, how they learn, and how they solve problems. It gives us valuable insights into their potential to achieve, helping us understand where their strengths lie and where we can best support them in the classroom. CAT4 looks at 4 different types of reasoning. Verbal reasoning, which is all about words and language. Non-verbal reasoning, which is about patterns and shapes. Quantitative reasoning, which is problem solving using numbers, and spatial reasoning, which is about visualizing and manipulating objects. Each of these areas plays an important role in how children learn across the curriculum. Let's look at those different batteries in a bit more detail. First of all, we have verbal reasoning, and this focuses on how children understand and reason with words. For example, questions might ask, cat is to kitten as dog is to blank. This helps us to see how well children can use language to make connections. Strong verbal reasoning skills often support reading comprehension, writing, and communication in the classroom. On the screen, you can see some examples of some verbal reasoning questions that your children may be asked in the CAT4 assessment. Non-verbal reasoning is problem solving using shapes and patterns rather than words. Children might be asked to spot the odd one out in a sequence of shapes. It tells us how well they can process visual information, which is important for logical thinking, for science and technology subjects. And again, here are some examples of questions that your children might face when they come to do the CAT4 assessment. Quantitative reasoning is about working with numbers. For example, a number sequence 2, 4, 8. What comes next? It's not about recalling times tables, but about understanding how numbers relate to each other. These skills help children to develop mathematical fluency and confidence. And as with other parts of the CAT4, it won't be testing curriculum knowledge here, rather than problem solving relating to numbers. Spatial reasoning measures how well children can visualize and manipulate objects. For example, they might be shown a net and asked which 3D shape it will fold into. These skills are especially important for the STEM subjects, design and even art, as they will show how a child sees patterns in the world around them. So how do we use the CAT4 results? CAT4 gives us a profile of each child's strengths and areas where they may need additional support. It helps us to plan lessons that can be more personalised and ensures that children are stretched and supported appropriately. We combine our CAT4 results with our teacher assessments, which are ongoing day to day, NGRT reading tests, and if your child was in year 4, 5 or 6 last academic year, we also have access to their GL progress test results from the summer term as well. This creates a much fuller picture of your child's learning and their potential to achieve. It's also important to say what CAT4 is not. It's not a curriculum test. It doesn't ask children about facts or topics that they've learned in class. It's not about passing or failing. And it's definitely not something children can revise for. Instead, it's one part of a bigger picture that helps us understand how best to support each child that's in front of us in our classrooms. So what can you do at home? Well, the good news is that support doesn't involve drilling test questions and too much revision. Instead, it's about encouraging curiosity and reasoning in just everyday life. Maybe you already play puzzles or board games with your child. Maybe you can explore word games together. You can ask your child to explain their thinking with questions like, how did you work that out? To help really build their confidence. Encourage reading widely to explore new vocabulary. You could make maths part of your daily life, whether that's through cooking or shopping, or maybe looking at the sports results. Activities like Lego and drawing or map reading help to build spatial skills. And finally, foster a growth mindset by reminding your child that their brain is like a muscle. It grows stronger the more it's used. Your child will come out of the CAT4 with areas of strength, which can be celebrated. Areas of development need to be supported, and they shouldn't be considered a weakness for your child. Instead, it's just a different way that they find learning easy or more difficult. So what are the next steps? Teachers will be sitting the CAT4 assessments in the coming weeks with your child. And that's for years 4 and year 6, and any brand new children who are new to year 5. Any existing children in year 5, we have your results from last year in year 4, and they are still valid. Teachers will review the results carefully and use them alongside classwork. You'll have the opportunity to discuss them at the parent-teacher conference, but that's a small part of the discussion. Remember, the CAT4 is not a judgment, and it's a tool that helps us guide your child's learning journey more effectively. Every child has a unique profile, and CAT4 helps us to celebrate and nurture that individuality. And I've put there on that bullet point, CAT4 shows potential, not limits. So if your child does have an area for development, okay, that's not going to limit their learning in any way. We just need to adjust the learning to suit them better. You as a family will receive the CAT4 results, but only when testing is complete. And for that to happen, we need to get through all of the classes and all the children. So I've put there as a rough date. It's likely to come later on in October. You'll be shared the CAT4 results, and it'll be shared via DC Pro. The next part of this webinar focuses on the NGRT assessments, which are also taking place in the coming weeks. This part of the webinar is relevant for parents of years 2 right through to 6. I'll be talking you through what the NGRT is, how we use it here at DBSJP, and how you can support your child's reading journey at home. The purpose is to explain what NGRT is and why we use it in school. We'll share with you how your teachers use the results to support your child, and we'll also consider some practical and parent-friendly tips how you can encourage reading at home. So for those of you who are not familiar with the NGRT, it stands for the New Group Reading Test. It's a standardised, adaptive assessment that measures children's reading skills. Because it's adaptive, the test changes depending on your child's answers. It becomes more challenging if they get the answers right, and adjusting them if they need more support. This ensures each child is tested at the level that suits them, giving us a very accurate picture of their reading ability. Sat in front of me in my class of 26 I could literally have 26 different tests taking place because the test will adapt for every child's needs. We use NGRT because reading is at the heart of learning. Whether it's through maths, science or history, strong reading skills help children to access the whole curriculum. NGRT provides us with reliable, objective data that supports the teacher judgment. Now it's important I've put the word there, supports the teacher judgment. We won't assess your child and give them a reading judgment entirely based on NGRT. Any form of summative test is just a snapshot of what your child can do on that particular day. But it is a really good judgment to use alongside our teacher assessments that we see from your child. It allows us to track progress from year 2 right through to year 6. So if your child's been at DBSJP for a number of years, we have that whole profile to support and celebrate your child's progress that they've made. NGRT looks at 3 main areas: word recognition and decoding. So this is how well children can read individual words. It looks at vocabulary knowledge, how wide and accurate their word understanding is. And thirdly, it looks at reading comprehension. How well can they make sense of or interpret text? Taken together, these give us a picture of your child's reading profile. Note, it does not test reading fluency. So it won't test the accuracy or speed that your child can read, or things like expression, okay, or intonation. Okay, it will only test those skills identified in front of us. So what might your child see? Well, some of the questions might ask them to choose the correct word to complete a sentence. Others might involve reading a short passage and answering questions about it. As I've previously mentioned, it's adaptive. So for our youngest children, they might start off with questions like the image on the board: what's the initial sound to go with the picture? In that case, it's a dog. Hopefully you didn't need my help for that one. Further up the school, that might not be so relevant for your child's learning, so they won't be asked questions of that nature. The test typically takes around 30 to 40 minutes, but some children may finish earlier or later, and that's absolutely fine. The test will stop when the computer assessment has reached a point where they are fully aware of your child's reading profile, and it will continue until it gets that profile complete. So some further examples of what your children might see. You can see the lower example where they've got a short paragraph and they have to put the correct word from a selection of words into the correct space. They might also be asked some inference questions about a paragraph as well. It's computer-based. In years 2 and year 3, it will be delivered via iPads in small groups with a teacher. Further up the school, it will be delivered on laptops, taking place in either classrooms or the wellbeing room. Once the test is complete, teachers receive a really detailed report, and these include a reading age, a standardised score to see how the children compare to the standard age expectations, and also a breakdown of the strengths and areas of development for each child. We use this information to guide reading groups and plan interventions and ensure every child is challenged appropriately. Really importantly, we combine our NGRT results with our classroom assessments. What do we see in our reading lessons? What do we hear when we're reading with small groups or on a one-to-one basis? Our teacher observations, alongside the NGRT, help us to create a balanced view of your child's attainment and progress in reading. As with the CAT4, this is what NGRT is not. It's not a high-stakes test, and there's no pass or fail, okay? The majority of questions are multiple choice. They'd be asked to select a word or a sound that fits into that sentence. It's not something the children can revise for, and it's not designed to label children. Instead, it's use one of several tools to support the learning. We always remind children it's simply a chance to show us what they can do. So how can you help at home? Well, the biggest support is making reading a habit. And if that can happen daily, even better. Reading together is important, and even when your children are in older year groups, they still benefit from that shared reading and discussion. If it's not possible to sit down with your child on a regular basis but they enjoy reading, allow them to read independently. But ask open-ended questions. Why do you think the character acted in this way? Or what do you think is going to happen next? Encourage and celebrate that discussion of reading. Also encourage children to read as widely as possible. We know children will have favourite authors or particular genres of text. But are they reading a mixture of fiction and non-fiction? Are they reading comics or recipes or blogs from the internet? Reading widely will help to build a range of vocabulary, and through conversation you can explore new words together. Above all, make reading enjoyable. It shouldn't be a chore, and it shouldn't be used to sit down, we're reading for 30 minutes now whether you like it or not. Okay, it should be a pleasure. Children should really enjoy their time reading, whether that's on their own or with you. So next steps for us. When we get the results in, teachers will review the NGRT results alongside what they know about your child based on classroom observations. You'll get a chance to discuss the results at the PTCs, the parent-teacher conferences. But again, the focus of the PTCs is about your child's overall settling in and abilities in class. And we don't want to talk just about one test result. If additional support is needed, we'll work with you to put that in place. Likewise, if your child is looking for additional challenges with reading, we can plan those in too. Remember, NGRT is just one part of a much bigger puzzle in school. And whilst it helps us to ensure an accurate reading picture, it won't be used in isolation. We look to make sure as a result of the NGRT and all of our observations that no child is overlooked and that every child, whether they need the support or whether they're meeting curriculum standards or above standards, they make the progress that's right for them. As with the CAT4, you will only receive the results when testing is complete. I've put a suggested date on there that it will not be before the 17th of October, but hopefully soon after. And we'll share that information with you in the newsletter when you can expect the NGRT results to come through, information about how to log on to DC Pro to find the results as well. Thank you for joining me on the webinar, and if you stayed for both the CAT4 and the NGRT parts, thank you very much. If you've got any questions, please reach out to me or your child's class teacher. We'll be more than happy to answer them. We will share more resources in the newsletter, and you can also explore the GL website. GL is the company behind CAT4 and NGRT, and they've got a really good parent section. Just simply Google GL parent support and you will find the pages that you need. We look forward to working with you on both the CAT4 and the NGRT to support your child and ensure that they thrive during their time at DBSJP. Thanks once again.